Hey guys, it's Kim. So I know that it's been a couple weeks since I've made a video, and I just wanted to thank all of you who are still here, still around, subscribing to my channel, watching my videos, for sticking around during that period for me. I wound up getting really caught up in just what I was doing. I thought I was going to have a little more time around finals than I did, but I'm home now, which I was super excited about. I know I told you guys about that earlier. And really enthusiastic about getting right back into my practice. And that kind of leads me to what I wanted to make this video about. As you can see, I'm just out here in my bathing suit trying to get some sun in me, soak up that vitamin D. And I was really compelled to make a video, and I always try and follow those intuitions. So what I wanted to talk about today is those times in your spiritual practice where you find it hard to get really connected into what you're doing. I know a lot of people call that fallows time. That's a really common term in Kemetic paganism. So I tend to use that fallows time or just my downtime. Sometimes I use the term hibernation. You know, my spirit, soul, that whole life body is kind of in hibernation, taking a rest. And that can be a really painful and stressful time for a lot of people, and I know it has been for me. I know that I felt like, oh my gosh, my spirit guides, my deities, I'm not feeling them in my life. I'm not feeling them, around me as much as I normally do. I'm not feeling compelled to do ritual and sit at my altar and just do the normal spiritual practices. I'm feeling really separated from that. And that's natural. And I really want to emphasize that point that I have found in my practice that's okay. And I think it happens in almost all aspects of your life. You can love things completely, but need a break from them at certain points. But when it comes to your spiritual practice, it's not necessarily the best thing to completely step away. For some people, sure. But for me, I needed to find a way to still connect to my spirituality when I was in fallows time and I wasn't feeling really connected to my spiritual energy and my pagan practice. And the way that I found to deal with that is by connecting to it on a really intellectual level. And the way that I do that is by doing a lot of research. So, like I said, in the past few weeks, I got really caught up in what was going on around me at school, with my finals, just with my life in general. Lots of things happen, and that happens to everybody. You go through periods of time where you're just completely busy, can be a little stressful. You got a lot on your mind. And for a lot of people, those times are the times that, you start to feel a little disconnected from your spirituality. So what I do in those times is I do as much research as possible on my pagan practice. So I'll read books that I haven't read. Something that's really a passion of mine is looking into different traditions. So I love, love, love reading books, going on websites, finding as much scholarly information as I can about ancient and modern pagan practice. What other people around me are doing and have done in the past. How other people connect to their deities is something that I have a really big passion about. And I think it's so interesting. And I really recommend that anybody that, kind of connects with the spiritual path does that, because I have always found an incredible amount of information no matter what I'm doing, when I'm researching these things. I always feel like when I go through a period of time where I'm researching, I walk out of it with this great new, sources of information that really inspired me. I'm always finding things like, wow, you know what? That would be an awesome thing to add to my altar. Or I would love to try this kind of ritual. I would love to try this spell. Maybe I should try this kind of meditation. The more research you do, paganism is such a broad term. And there's so much in it. And that can be overwhelming at times, but I have found it to be amazing. And that there's always more things to learn. And even if you don't use the pagan term, if you just like to consider yourself a spiritual person, there is so much to learn. There are people out there all over the world that are writing books, writing blogs, writing, scholarly journals that talk about their experiences, talk about, traditional things, talk about things that they're learning. And you can do so much with that. And so the way that I have learned to deal with fallows time is not to just completely disregard my spirituality, but deal with it on an intellectual level. If, my heart and soul isn't feeling so connected with it, I use my mind and I connect with it on that way. And then I'm using the time productively. I'm not letting go of my practice, but I'm still really connected to what I'm doing. And it's setting me up so well for, when the time comes back where, okay, you know what, feeling more connected, feeling back into it, really feeling good. that's when all of a sudden you have this great new things of information, new things to try. And I always feel like those times where it picks back up are just some of the most amazing times. You have so much energy, so much excitement for what's going on. And if you've been doing research, figuring out things that are interesting to you, I mean, it's really likely you're going to wind up with a lot of new things to try and just things that you're really excited about. And I love that. And, I highly recommend that to anybody that's going through Fallows time. Do the research, read about what you're interested in, find out some new things. Even if you don't find a single thing that you want to add to your practice, it's always really cool to learn about what other people are doing and connecting to, and how they're connecting to their spirituality. I just think that is an amazing practice, really healthy, and I think having a good balance of an intellectual and spiritual side when it comes to your religious or spiritual practice is a good thing. If you have too much of one or the other, I tend to find that it gets a little unbalanced, and you don't have enough information to be doing what you're doing, or you don't have enough of the spiritual commitment to really follow through with it. So when you balance it out, it's great. I put so much emphasis on following my intuition and my gut feeling, and I think that that is one of the most important things of my life. When I feel a gut feeling to do something, I do it. Unless it's going to be dangerous for me or I'm in a bad mindset and I can't trust those feelings, I like to follow through with it. I like to try it. So when I go into Fallows time and I'm not connected, it absolutely can be a struggle to do this, but I try really hard not to feel bad about it, not to sink into a bad feeling. I try to just accept it for what it is and, decide that, okay, you know what? This is my spirit guides, my energies, totem, whatever you want to call it, telling me, okay, you know what? Now's the time for you to, maybe take a break from the spiritual stuff, learn a little bit more, do a little more things in your worldly life, connect to the other things around you. It's not a bad thing. Even though it's hard and even though whatever you're feeling about it, it's going to be okay. It's going to be great. And if you can just connect with your spiritual practice on some level, whether that's researching, like I said, maybe doing yoga, or sitting outside for 15 minutes in your bathing suit. Like, I'm very, very lucky to have the time to do that today. Always feel like the sun rays are really healing for me. So I love to do that. It makes me feel really spiritual. Just doing the little things, whatever you can, whatever your gut feeling is. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel abandoned if you can help it. Do as much as you can to make yourself feel secure and happy in your Fallows time, because it's natural, it happens to everybody, and it's not a bad thing. So that's why I haven't made a video in a few weeks here, because what I kind of promised to myself when I started this channel is that I will never put out a video that I'm not really passionate about. I will never send out a video to you guys that wasn't something that you came to me spiritually that, oh my gosh, I really want to make this video. What a great topic. Really excited to share this. I don't want to put out junk videos. I don't want to put out videos that don't mean anything to me. So for all of you amazing subscribers that I'm so, so happy to be experiencing this with, if I go through periods of time like this, and, it only happens a couple times a year, don't worry, I really appreciate you sticking with me, and I'll be back before you know it, just like I am right now. So that's just that. I don't want you guys to think that I'm, saying goodbye to this, or it was an experiment that failed. I just needed some time to take a break, relax, do my own thing for a while, and that's okay, and I'm happy with that. And, I've gotten back home now. I'm at my home base, getting ready to get back into working, because, I'm a full-time student during the school year, so getting ready to get back into working and just connecting with all of the things around me. I feel very spiritually connected to the place that I grew up, so super happy to be here, and I'm just already feeling this incredible spiritual energy just coursing through me. I have so much energy, so much excitement. I've been doing amazing things with my spirituality in the past few days since I got here. So I'm really excited to be sharing that with you. So thanks again for waiting for this video, and you can expect a nice influx of more in the next few weeks coming, because I've got a ton of energy and a ton of things I'm really excited about. So, if anybody is inspired by this, I'd love to hear how you guys handle your Fallows time. What do you guys like to do when you don't feel so spiritually connected? Because I'm always looking for new ideas, always looking to hear things. And as always, if you have a request for something that you want to see, something you want to hear me talk about, love to take it. Just gives me more ideas, and more videos will be coming your way that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Super excited to be starting these summer months. Even for those of you that are in full-time jobs that don't get the summer off, I think that the summer just brings in a really happy energy to everybody, and I'm so glad that all of you amazing people are moving into these months and are, I'm sure, going to have an amazing time. And I'm sending out positive rays to all of you. So I love you all very, very much. Blessed be, and namaste. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.